Another blast of cold air is on the way as we move toward the end of the work and school week, and it may be even colder than it was last weekend. Here is our future wind chill forecast for you on Friday. We'll be in the 20s. This is before the Arctic cold front arrives, and then moving into the day on Saturday, at least according to some forecast models, our wind chill factors may not even make it above freezing at any point during daylight hours. Let this sink in for a minute and just how cold it's going to be with that air, that cold Arctic air settling across the DMV. Now, in terms of those wind gusts, not too windy during the day on Friday, but those winds will begin to pick up if you have Friday evening plans around 15 to 25 miles per hour. But then waking up early Saturday morning, some forecast trends have those wind gusts in excess of 40 miles per hour. The European model has those wind gusts stronger than 50 miles per hour at times during the day on Saturday. Check this out. This is Saturday wind chills using the European. Wind gusts by 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, upwards of 45 to 55 miles per hour. As of right now, the National Weather Service has not issued any type of wind alerts, but I do suspect for at least parts of the mid-Atlantic that we're going to see some wind advisories for the gusty winds. Now, these gusty winds are going to stick around moving through Saturday night into the day on Saturday, but not quite as strong, but still giving us very cold wind chill factors. A surge of very cold air is on the way. This is what it looks like Friday, February 7th. Or Saturday, February 7th, I should say, with that surge of very cold air over the mid-Atlantic. The lighter the color, the colder the air. And you head to northern Pennsylvania into New York State. That's where the core of the colder air will be. But there's some good news as we move into the day on Sunday. We're going to see improving conditions a little bit, slow increments as this core of cold air begins to erode. And by Monday and Tuesday, notice how the colors begin to change. We go from white to pink to blue, and then moving into Wednesday, the coldest of the air moves on off toward the north and east, and that means finally we're looking at a longer stretch of milder temperatures, near normal temperatures for the DMV, and that's going to allow us to see a bit more of snow melt action across the area. We definitely need it. Here's our 10-day temperature trend. We'll be in the 30s come Thursday and Friday. Then we have that Arctic cold front that moves on through. Saturday and Sunday, we're only in the mid to upper 20s for daytime highs. Those are actual air temperatures, but keep in mind with wind gusts upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour, that's what's going to give us those extreme wind chills. And then we start to moderate our temperatures moving into next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at or above 40 degrees. At least that is what the forecast is calling for right now. Here are our 10-day morning lows. They go from around 30 degrees Wednesday morning, then down to the teens Friday morning. Saturday morning, that's a little bit deceptive there. We are going to see the coldest come early Sunday. These are air temperatures, and at that point, those winds are going to ease just a tiny bit, but still, those wind chills are going to be on the dangerous side. Here's our future wind gusts moving into Friday. Notice not a whole lot 5 p.m. rush hour commute, but there are those winds beginning to build moving into the day on Saturday. Waking up early Saturday morning, those wind gusts 25 to 40 miles per hour. The brighter the color you see, the stronger the winds. By 12 noon, those gusts in excess of 40 miles per hour down at the river by Reagan National Airport. It stays windy come Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, and then moving into Sunday, those winds will ease a little bit during the morning, but at that point, we're going to have frigid temperatures with those wind gusts that are going to be anywhere between 25 to 35 miles per hour, giving us wind chill factors still below zero. Winds kick up a little bit more come Sunday afternoon before they begin to ease just a little bit. Here are our feels like temperatures, and this right here shows the whole picture moving into early Saturday morning at or above or below zero for most of the area. Coldest off toward the north and west of us, and it doesn't get much better even during daylight hours. So midday on Saturday, those feels like readings upwards of 4 below to 10 to 15 degrees below zero, and it stays frigid Saturday night into early Sunday morning. This is what it feels like Sunday morning, anywhere between 10 to 15 below zero. Definitely looking at cold weather alerts at that point, even though they have not been issued yet by the National Weather Service. We'll be watching them closely for you over the coming days. And those feels like temperatures begin to improve a little bit moving into early next week. We're not the only ones who are going to be dealing with the cold air. You can see how we cycle through all of this as we head through the next several days. Let's talk about snow chances. Our best chance for perhaps a little bit of light snow will come Friday. That's part of the cold surge, and it's not going to be very much. At best, we have maybe 2 inches. For some areas, 1 inch, depending on what model you look at. But at this point, we're calling for more or less a nuisance snow. But anything over the snowpack or the ice pack that we have right now could become problematic. Here's our futurecast Thursday, 8 p.m., still totally dry. And then moving into the day on Friday, there's that burst of snow. Like I said, not everyone is going to see it, and it fizzles out rather quickly as we head through the day on Saturday, but that cold air will move on in from the north and west, and we're going to feel it for the entire weekend with that break arriving by the middle and end of next week with temperatures finally above freezing. So our snowfall total moving from today through Thursday, perhaps a dusting, and then maybe we'll add a little tiny bit to that moving into the end of day Friday. But the jackpot zone, if you even want to call this a jackpot zone, if you have travel plans to western Pennsylvania over toward Ohio or southeastern lower Michigan, that's where you're looking at a good 1 to 3 inches of snow, not so much for the metro, and then we'll clear this thing out of here. So your 7-day outlook, a lot to go through as we move through the next week or so. Thursday, we're looking at those temperatures that are going to be around 35 degrees, and then looking at a chance for some very, very light snow first part of the day. I don't expect it to amount to a whole lot. Now, Friday, we are watching those temperatures again and minimal snowfall, dusting at best. And this is mainly during daylight hours into very early evening. And once we get through that, we're going to be on cold alert for the day on Saturday, and likely looking at those official cold weather alerts from the National Weather Service. We'll see daytime high temperatures that are going to be on the frigid side at those stronger wind gusts, upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. And those wind chill factors, like I said, depending on which forecast trend you look at or below 0, or the best case scenario, perhaps the lower to middle single digits. Moving into Sunday, it stays very cold out there again. We're looking at those morning wind chill factors at or below 0 for much of the area, or lower single digits. And that cold stretch is going to stick through the entire day with those wind chills improving just a tiny bit. Now, come Monday, temperature around 33 degrees for a daytime high. We will see those morning low wind chills for back to school, because a lot of kids have to get back to school. Looking at wind chills that will be in the single digits to just slightly below freezing. As always, stay ahead of all of our weather makers. Be sure to have your First Alert weather app ready to go. If you don't have it on your smartphone, all you need to do is head over to the App Store or Google Play. It only takes about 15 to 20 seconds to upload on your phone, and once you have it, you are good to go. You can set the settings how you want them for alerts such as tornado warnings, tornado watches, severe thunderstorm warning and watches, as severe weather season is hovering just around the corner. Stay with 7 News as always in WJLA for the latest forecast updates. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin.